Well, hey, everybody. My name is Tanner Mulvihill. I'm a homeowner here in Kemp Woods, 1129 Cumberland Court, and you may know me from being a member of the Kemp Woods Civic League. Well, today we're going to start on a special journey because I want to be doing monthly updates for my fellow residents of Kemp Woods about what's going on in the real estate market. And I am joined today by one of my best friends in the industry, 2014 Realtor of the Year, 18 years in the business, Dayla Brooks with Own Real Estate. Dayla, how are you today?
I am doing awesome, Tanner. How about you?
Oh, I'm doing good. It's a beautiful day out there. It wasn't too hot right now, but what we're gonna do for the folks that are gonna watch this video, we are gonna whip through the what recently sold for June, and then we're gonna talk about what's on the market for right now for Kemp Woods, and kind of do these on a monthly basis. So let's, if you're ready, let's get to it.
Oh, let's start. Let's do it. And I
Okay,
just want to say Kemp Woods is starting off better than last year. So that's
nice.
always a good thing.
Yeah, go ahead. Why don't you elaborate on that a little bit for us?
So last year in 2023, we sold a total of 11 homes. All
Okay.
12 months, we sold 11 homes. And this year, so we just came out of June. Today's July 2nd. So we have already sold 7 so far this year. So
Gotcha.
we're ahead of schedule, and that's always a good thing.
For sure. And as you know, one of the things about living in Kemp Woods that we're seeing is that the values continue to increase. So let's go ahead and talk about this first one that I have pulled up for us. This is the one that just closed in the neighborhood at the end of June. And I don't have the address up in front of me, but I'm guessing you do. So what
It
do we
is
got here?
1527 Shenandoah Parkway.
Okay, 1527 Shenandoah Parkway. And this one, tell me a little bit about kind of like maybe days on market, final sales price, all that good stuff.
So it went at the end of the day, it went for 665 with 11 days on the market, which is pretty amazing. Our market, we're in a little bit of transition because the interest rates have gone up and down, and that the
Yep.
buyers are very susceptible to that. So that's a very good time on the market. So 11 days and then going for 665, not bad at all.
No, and this was it definitely showed well in the pictures. So
Mhm.
the sellers did a really good job of kind of obviously keeping this one updated and a lot of nice touches. But one of the things that you do every time when you're listing a property is kind of have those professional photos that really help sell the house. And maybe you could
Absolutely.
talk to that to a little bit for the sellers out there or people that are thinking about selling down the road in our neighborhood about how important the pictures are and how many buyers you're seeing these days that are not here, that don't see it until they get here.
Absolutely. And I've had 3 so far this year that actually went under contract on the house before they ever stepped foot in it. So I'm FaceTiming the house with them because they're in Spain or they're in Germany or wherever Uncle Sam has them at the
Right.
time. And what I try and do is get them here for the home inspection. So they go under contract based on those pictures. So if
Yes.
you have an agent that's using a iPhone to take pictures, you're not going to be getting that deal.
No, a little bit behind the curve. And one of the things is I flip quickly back to the picture, you can see they did some drone photography on this one. So that might not necessarily be something you do on every property, but something in Kemp Woods for to really give people a sense of the Kemp Woods neighborhood and for people that are looking to move into the neighborhood. So as a Kemp Woods homeowner, I'm really excited that this one went for that price and continues to kind of set the bar on the market. And as we talked about, we want to keep this on a shorter time frame for people. So let me go ahead and get up the next screen that I would like to share with you here with the stuff that is on the market right now. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at what 1336 Sanjo share. All right, here we go. So we're going to talk about 1336 Sanjo is currently on Sanjo, excuse me, is currently on the market for 639.9. Give me your thoughts on this property. What's catching your eye?
Well, it's only been on the market for 11 days and it's
Okay.
priced very well. So I think we're going to have us a sale not very far in the future on this one. I will tell you, when you had talked about the house before and some of the pictures, I always think it's great to have a stager come in.
Yeah.
There was a house that hurt us in the neighborhood that was sold earlier this year off market, and it was sold very, very low to a flipper. And,
Mm.
you can't avoid that. If somebody wants to sell it to a flipper, they're going to. But we also have a house on the market right now for a lower price that has some wallpaper, and that's a bad word. I mean, that's like a
Yeah, right,
comfort in real estate to have
right.
wallpaper in the kitchen and the bathrooms and that kind of stuff. So,
And I think we'll get to that, but at some point, as somebody in the neighborhood, the somebody will be able to take that house, and there are certainly reasons why a person may still have the wallpaper still up or things like that. So everybody's situation is slightly different, but for our market right now to actually have 3 listings, I can't remember a time since I've been in the neighborhood, roughly a year, that there's been 3 on the market at one time. So kind of interesting timing. And this one again shows well, but it just gives us a sense of kind of where this market continues to go.
well, year over year, right now, Tanner, we have 16% more listings available than we did at this same time last year. So we're
Wow.
seeing
Okay.
that in your neighborhood as well. But
Yeah.
as an industry, we've got 16% more supply, so more listings, and we've got 1% less buyers overall. So that's good for the buyers, giving them a little bit more control. But we still only have 2 months of inventory in the Hampton Roads area, meaning if we were to sell everything on the market, it would take 2 months to go through all of that. So
Yeah.
it's still a very tight market and still very good for sellers.
For sure. And one of the things, especially Kemp Woods, as the values continue to increase closer to 7, now we're getting to a point where we're having less buyers at the top of the pyramid. So for folks that are not in the business, I'm the owner of Bayfield Home Loans here in Chesapeake, and I can tell you that as your buying pool decreases, because buying a $650,000 house that has a pretty hefty payment on it, we're going to have a lot more buyers on the lower end than you are on the upper end. So still being able to get under contract that quickly is a good sign for the neighborhood, and does show kind of the value of Kemp Woods.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Well,
we've had 3 of the loans be VA loans, which is strong
mm,
for our area because we have so much military. So that's a very good sign too. That's the
yes.
majority of the loans has been VA. We had 2 cash, 2 conventional, but then we had 4 that were the VA.
Nice. Yeah. And especially, me being a VA expert, that's kind of my bread and butter. And I think we're going to talk about something on this property or the next one about VA assumptions. So for those folks that aren't familiar, if you kind of want to give us a rundown on that, and I can fill in some details as well.
So the one at 1404 Shenandoah Parkway, Tanner, it just hit the market yesterday, so people may not have seen it just yet, but it's being advertised with a 2.5 VA loan.
Mm.
So it's an assumable loan, but that doesn't always happen exactly like you would think. As you know, you're the money man, you're the expert. I'm going to let you speak to that, but that's how that house is being marketed.
Gotcha. Well, a VA assumption is a wonderful product based on where current interest rates are at for the right scenario. And for folks that are wondering about VA assumptions, let's say you have a VA loan right now and you're considering listing your house. It is a selling tool that somebody like Dayla can use to help advertise the property. Hey, I got this assumable low rate. The only hard part, downside, however you want to put it, about assumptions is the buyer has to bring the difference between the sales price and the loan amount. So if you owe 300,000 on your loan and you're selling the house for 650,000, somebody's going to have to come up with 350 grand, and that is going to take out a lot of potential buyers.
Yep.
With that said, though, you and I talked beforehand before we hopped on, and there have been 2 cash buyers in the neighborhood
Yes.
since the beginning of the year. So there are folks with cash, and that's an option for people to potentially look at buying. This particular property, though, Dayla, that we're looking at right here, 1232 Smoky Mountain. So this sales price, 637, kind of seems like both of the last 2 that we've looked at running into the same ballpark on the sales prices, and probably
Yeah.
similar square footage and all
Yes.
that. So
And they're both brick, and the other one that's at the lower price is not brick, it's vinyl. So, that's going to add a lot of value as well.
yeah.
So, yeah, both of these being in the 638 and 639 price point bodes very well for the neighborhood.
It does, and it continues to show that well-maintained brick homes will retain their value if you do
Absolutely.
the updates. So hopefully for these folks, they're going to get a good dollar amount on this one as well, and I guess we'll see over the weekend. Let me ask your thoughts on July 4th. July 4th and the weekend, is that typically slow real estate, or is that, is it going to pick up a little bit, or is it weather determined?
Well, we're having some great weather right now, and it just depends on people's frame of mind. And if they've gotten some recent orders from the military and they need to move quickly, then they're
Yep.
still going to be looking over the July 4th weekend. So it's
Yeah.
not a bad time to put a house on the market.
Well, perfect. Let's go over to the last one really quick. We won't spend much time on it, but I do want to give people a sense of what we have on the market right now, and that's going to be 1404 Shenandoah. Now, because as somebody in the neighborhood, I truly appreciate my neighbors, and this price point is a little bit lower. But what this can potentially lead for, Dayla, and correct me if I'm wrong, potentially multiple offers at the right price point, and then also the chance to add further equity once they do some work inside.
Absolutely. And you know the old age old rule, buy the smallest house in the best neighborhood. Everybody wants to be in Kemp Woods, and this house is 2,500 square feet. So we've
Yeah.
got much larger houses in the neighborhood. This one's not brick. So this would be an opportunity for somebody to get into the neighborhood. Now, they're
Yeah.
going to have to be willing to take down some wallpaper and do some things, but hey, there's a lot of people that are willing to do that to live in Kemp Woods.
For sure. That's the reason to live in a neighborhood like this, where you do have low turnover, and the values continue to maintain and rise, and go from there. So hopefully, when we have our update next month, we're going to see a good price for these folks that are listing their home, and we will continue to see where this market goes from here. But
Absolutely.
I'd like to give a quick plug for you if you'd like to kind of talk a little bit about your process while we got a couple minutes here left before we get to the 10-minute mark. What's it like working with you if somebody's thinking about selling their house in Kemp Woods coming up?
Well, I absolutely love Chesapeake. I live in Chesapeake myself, and I've sold in Kemp Woods, and I know how great the neighborhood is. So it's an easy sell for me because been there, done that. But that being said, I've been selling real estate since 2006, and I love helping people move on to the next chapter. I want to
Yeah.
hear your story. I want to hear why you need to do what you need to do, and then I'll help you get there.
Perfect. Well, that's a nice synopsis of everything. So if folks are thinking about selling, Dayla's number is right there at the bottom of our screen. And when I post the video, then also include Dayla's contact information. And if anybody out there is thinking about their refinance options, I am the owner of Bayfield Home Loans. I am going to give some good discounts for the residents of Kemp Woods, because I'd like to spread the word that I am a local business here in Kemp Woods. But Dayla, thanks so much for taking the time today. And we'll be back next month, see how July looked for the neighborhood.
Sounds great. Look forward to
Awesome.
it.
Talk
Take
to you
care.
soon. Thanks,
Bye bye.
Dayla. Bye.